Hari Om Tatsat. Om Stapakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Stapakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Avatara Varisthaya Ramakrishna Te Namah. Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us bow down to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God Incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. We have been studying Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna has given spiritual instructions. He has done everything that was to be done. He has given everything to uplift the humanity. He has given the correct interpretation of religion through his own practice and realization of the truth. Sri Ramakrishna out of his infinite compassion has given most valuable instructions. If you are really aspiring for spiritual life, if you really want to see God as Sri Ramakrishna saw, it is very important that you should follow what he has said about spiritual life. Spiritual life is built up by cultivating spiritual qualities. You have to build up your life in that fashion. You have to consciously try very honestly. First you must develop that ground, then only you will be able to see God face to face. Sri Ramakrishna was talking to the devotees. He said, after attaining knowledge, a person says, "O God, nothing belongs to me. Neither this house of worship, nor this Kali temple, nor this Brahmo Samaj," one of the groups, practicing spirituality. These are all thine. Wife, son and family do not belong to me. They are all thine. After attaining knowledge, he says like this. He becomes truly aware of the fact that really nothing belongs to him. But then what we see in the world, we always feel that things belong to us. To love these objects, regarding them as one's own, is Maya. But to love all things is Daya, compassion. Love all things. That's a very important point. To love only the members of the Brahma Samaj or to love one's own family is considered Maya. These are the words of Sri Ramakrishna. I am just quoting. To love one's own countrymen is Maya. But to love the people of all countries, to love the members of all religions, is Daya. Very significant term. Daya. Such love comes from love of God. From Daya. God incarnates an account of this tremendous compassion. Daya is a Sanskrit word for compassion. Maya and Daya. Maya entangles one and turns him away from God. Whenever you feel you are distracted from God, whenever you feel you have no taste in spiritual life, that means you are entangled by Maya. But through Daya, one realizes God. Sages like Shukadeva and Narad always cherished Daya in their hearts. So Sri Ramakrishna is emphasizing the point here. To realize God, you must develop compassion in your heart. It's a very significant message. So, compassion is a godly quality. But if it ends in mere feeling and sentiment, however genuine and deep, it is not much of a virtue. So what? Daya or compassion must therefore express itself in action. That's the important point. Daya must express itself in action to be really of value and merit. A word may of course heal, assuage, console, but it must be followed by a deed of active help, if the recipient of the word is to be really benefited. Action is demanded. Your value of compassion must be translated into action. Then only you are developing that virtue of compassion. It is such a wonderful quality, so Lord Krishna calls it one of the divine treasures. He tells in chapter 16, he gives number of virtues to be practiced by a spiritual aspirant. In the verse 2, he says, Ahimsa satyam akrodha tyagaha shantirapaishunam daya bhuteshvaloluptvam mardvam hrirachapalam daya bhuteshvaloluptvam. Compassion for all beings. It must be cultivated if you want to realize God, if you want to see God. Without compassion, no realization of God is possible. So Lord Krishna is telling you, first of all, acquire these qualities, strive hard. Always remember to cultivate these qualities. Even though the list is a long one, Abhayam, Sattva, Samshuddhir, Jnana, Yoga, Samsthiti, like that Lord Krishna narrates number of qualities to be cultivated by a spiritual aspirant, which are all Daivi Sampat. Even though the list is a long one, if you develop even one of these qualities to the fullest extent, automatically you see the other qualities coming. That's the beauty of that. It is not that you have to practice one at a time. First I will practice ahimsa, then I will practice akrodha. You practice any one of the qualities properly, all the other qualities are coming up in a natural way. Let anyone lead, the others will follow, because they are all like links in a chain. You can't be truthful without being non-violent, without being pure, without being modest. That's the point. So, cultivate the quality compassion. When you see a wounded soldier thirsting for water, your heart may melt in pity for him. Without you doing anything to allay his thirst, simply you are showing sympathy, but it must be shown in action. Bring water. That is the fulfillment of the quality compassion. This particular quality you can see in holy people, in people who practice spirituality in all earnestness and who try to keep their mind in that high standard. They think greatly, they feel nobly, and they act helpfully. You can consider the life of Sri Ramakrishna. You can see the life of Holy Mother. You can see the life of Swami Vivekananda. How they thought about, how they acted upon. The least call of distress on earth does not find them deaf. They respond to the call carrying tangible relief. That is the idea when Swami Vivekananda introduced this ideal of service. Ideal of service, serving God in man. That itself is a worship. If you just serve the humanity, you will get all the benefit of illumination. So, are we compassionate? Are we kind? We have to ask that question. You have to measure yourself. How far you are compassionate. That is the test of your spiritual progress in life. You don't need any external test. You yourself can examine how far you are compassionate. That determines your progress in spiritual life. Let us take some of the examples. How the great people manifest that wonderful quality of compassion. There is a famous incident in the life of Sri Ramanuj, one of the great acharyas, the spiritual masters. There are three great acharyas. One is Shankaracharya, who expounded Advaita philosophy. The second one, Sri Ramanujacharya, who advocated qualified non-dualism. And third, Madhvacharya, who expounded dualism. All these three systems of philosophy are indeed very great. No one is inferior to the other. Each one is equally great. Each one takes you to the abode of God. Each one gives you the illumination and enlightenment. Whatever philosophy you follow, you reach the same goal. In Sri Ramanujacharya's life, there is a famous incident to show how he was ocean of compassion. Those were the days of very strict orthodox. The spiritual masters were very strict, and they would enforce that strictness and discipline among the disciples. It is a tremendous task. Well, Sri Ramanujacharya was initiated by one of the great holy men at that time. When he initiated him, he told him, well, I have given you the most sacred mantras, most sacred of the mantras. Keep on meditating on this mantra which I have given you. Never disclose this to anyone. That's all. After the initiation ceremony was over, Ramanujacharya ran to the temple. He went upstairs, up to the top of the tower. He began to call the people, Please come all of you. I will reveal you the most wonderful secret. You will be able to reach God without any difficulties. I have got the method and I give you that. He was shouting and people all came with great curiosity, and he just uttered the mantra which he received from the Guru. That was his compassion. People are suffering. How to uplift them? So his whole concern was how to uplift these people from their miseries and sufferings. There are many instances, if you study the life of the saints, you find every page is full of incident exhibiting this quality of compassion. Sri Ramakrishna went on a pilgrimage to Benares in the company of Mathuranath. He made all arrangements, himself went along with Sri Ramakrishna. Then on the way they halted at a place called Devaghar. It is in Bihar state. There is a famous Shiva temple there. It is one of the 12 Jyotirlinga. Shankaracharya has made a wonderful hymn, Dvadasha Linga Stotra. There are 12 very important, most sacred Jyotirlingas in India. At 12 places. They are considered most sacred. And this Devaghar is one of the places where Lord Shiva is in the form of Jyotirlinga. When Sri Ramakrishna came there, he saw the people in the village. They were in a very distressed condition. They didn't have clothing, they didn't have proper food to eat. Sri Ramakrishna was very much pained to see that condition of those people. So immediately he went to Mathur and he said to him, "Look, you are the steward of the mother. Feed these poor people and give everyone a cloth." This is the commandment. He is commanding Madhanatha to do it. Positively he is telling. This stewardship principle which Sri Ramakrishna propounded is one of immense significance. All wealth belongs to providence, and men who are wealthy hold them as agents of God, not as owners in their right, and they are expected to expend the money in ways which will appeal to God in the service of the poor, who is in a special sense or God's children. Mathur Babu always respected Sri Ramakrishna's ideas and wishes. To him, Sri Ramakrishna was the master, spiritual master. To him, Sri Ramakrishna was everything. But when Sri Ramakrishna said to feed them and give them a cloth, there are hundreds of people. It's not giving a cloth to one or two people. Then he began to talk in a way as if he is avoiding what Sri Ramakrishna wanted to be done. He pointed out to him, well, we are going on a pilgrimage to Benares. It requires a lot of money. Now to feed these people and to give clothes to them, it would heavily strain the resources at his disposal. He doesn't have so much money to attend to all these things. Whatever he has got, it is just sufficient to reach Benares. Though Mathurnath was trying to explain his difficulty in this manner, it made no impression on Sri Ramakrishna. He stuck to his resolve. He stuck to it. To have the destitutes served, it must be done. There is no going back on this resolve. He wept at the sight of the hungry and ill-clothed villagers. He cried out to Mathur in agony. Sri Ramakrishna scolded Mathur Babu, "Fie upon you! Do you think I am interested to go to Benares? When people are suffering here for want of food, for want of clothing, I am not going to Benares. I prefer to remain with these helpless people." So, he immediately left Mathur's company and went and sat with the poor villagers. He cared little for the holy yatra, pilgrimage, when people were pining away without food. When Mathurnath came to know that Sri Ramakrishna had determined that these people should be given food and clothing, Mathur Babu was overwhelmed at this Himalayan compassion. You know Himalayan mountain? Huge. Sri Ramakrishna's compassion was boundless. So, Mathur Babu hurried himself to execute Sri Ramakrishna's wishes. He got bales of clothes from Calcutta and arranged everything. Feeding and clothing, everything was done to the satisfaction of Sri Ramakrishna. Herein, you must see the personality of Sri Ramakrishna. Always with his mind merged in God. But he was never blind to human woe. So, when these people were fed and given clothing, Sri Ramakrishna became happy and resumed his journey to Benares. You take any saint's life, the outstanding quality you find in them is compassion. That's why even the worst sinner, if he comes in touch with the holy man, he becomes the recipient of his compassion. That's the sign of your spiritual progress. You don't have to ask this question to anybody. I am not feeling any progress, what can I do? Don't ask that question. Because, first of all, cultivate this quality of compassion, value of compassion. That's very important. Coming to Swami Vivekananda's life, there is an instance there were some laborers. They are called Santal laborers. Santal is a particular name of the labor community. They were engaged in doing some work at the Belur Mutt. Swami Vivekananda went to talk to them. He wanted to be in their company for some time. He heard their tales of woe, and his heart moved deeply. One day, Swami Vivekananda was talking to these laborers with all love and affection. Just then, somebody came and reported to Swami that a very prominent gentleman has come to see him, to see Vivekananda. That means the person is telling Swami Vivekananda to go and see that prominent man who has come there. But Swamiji said, well, I shall not be able to go now. I am quite happy with these people here. And Swamiji was so deeply absorbed in their stories of distress and so on, the laborers could see tears in Swami Vivekananda's eyes. Then one of them was greatly moved by this, and he began to say, well, Swamiji, we won't tell you any more of our troubles because it makes you weep. So tender-hearted was the iron-willed philosopher and saint. One day, the Swami wanted to feed these laborers profusely. He wanted to feed them. Well, then the laborers came to know that Swami Vivekananda was arranging a good meal for them. The leader of that labor community, he came to Swami Vivekananda and he said, "Oh Swami, you are like father to us. But there's one thing. If we eat food cooked by you with salt, we shall lose our caste." Then Swamiji immediately understood their sentiment. And the food was prepared without putting salt. But the salt was served separately. Then they were all very happy. And the best food was given to them. They enjoyed the food immensely. When the laborers were taking food, Swami Vivekananda himself went and supervised. And he was standing there till they completed their meal. At the end of the meal, Swami Vivekananda said, "You are Narayanas." That is, Narayana is the Supreme God, and he is addressing them. "You are Narayanas. Today I have entertained the Lord Himself by feeding you." A solemn and deliberate utterance of such a kind by one of the Swamiji's spiritual majesty is sublime matter for pious reflection on our part. It is Vedanta lived and practiced. Afterwards, the Swami told a disciple, "I actually saw the Lord Himself in them how simple-hearted and guileless these people are. There is another instance in the life of Swami Chidananda, one of the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, the second president of the Ramakrishna Mutt and Ramakrishna Mission. One day, he went to Madras in South India, and there the devotee invited the Swami and other members of the Mutt for a dinner. They all went there, they had nice dinner, and they went to a room. They began to talk on spiritual matters. But when they were talking, it was disturbed by a noise outside. What is this noise going on? Swami Chidananda became curious to know. So he went and looked through the window. What he saw? Beggars were quarreling for food, lean and hungry, dressed in rags. They were asking for food and scrambling in the alley to receive some food. Swami Chidananda was very sad to see this. His heart sank. He called the host immediately. He commanded him, do give these poor people some food. Let them have a hearty meal. We had ours. Why should they go without food? That's it. You can see in each one of these disciples how the outstanding quality of compassion was manifested in every one of them. Swami Vivekananda reiterated the precept. What is that? Make the poor humanity your God. Make the poor humanity your God. The service of the living God in his form of the destitute is the religion of this age. It is religious duty to regard the street beggar with his begging bowl not as an unwanted to be shunned, but as a lord in the guise of a seeming unfortunate, deserving pragmatic compassion. I conclude my talk by telling what Swami Akhandananda has said on this compassion. Swami Akhandananda, who worked very hard to remove the sufferings of the people. Even now, Swamiji, where he started an ashram in Calcutta Sargachi, he has got a big orphanage. He used to take the orphan children and did everything for them. Swamiji, he said, it is from compassion that spiritual ideas begin to grow. Compassion is the root of all virtue and happiness. And arrogance is the root of hell or narrowness and misery. So, let us try to cultivate this quality of compassion. Daya bhuteshu loluptvam. Daya bhuteshu aloluptvam. Daya bhuteshu aloluptvam. Lord Krishna says, compassion towards all beings. Once we practice this, then we are really practicing spirituality. Page 562. Master, to Vijay and others, 4 desires have come to my mind. I think I have read that. Narendra was seated in front of the Master. He was about 22 years old. When Sri Ramakrishna was talking thus, his eyes fell upon his beloved disciple. At once the Master stood up and went into Samadhi. He placed one foot on Narendra's knee. He was in a deep spiritual mood, his eyes unblinking, his mind completely unconscious of the outer world. After a long time he came down to the relative plane of consciousness. But he still appeared dazed, for the intoxication of divine bliss had not altogether left him. Speaking to himself in that ecstatic state, he repeated the name of God. He said, Satchidananda, Satchidananda, Satchidananda. Shall I repeat that? No. It is the day of the Divine Mother, the giver of the bliss of divine inebriation. O Mother, full of the bliss of divine inebriation. Sarigama Padani. It is not good to keep the voice on knee. It is not possible to keep it there very long. I shall keep it on the next lower note. There are different planes of consciousness, the gross, the subtle, the causal, and the great cause. Entering the Mahakarana, the great cause, one becomes silent, one cannot utter a word. But an Ishvara Koti, after attaining the great cause, can come down again to the lower planes. Incarnations of God and others like them belong to the class of the Ishvara Kotis. They climb up and they can also come down. They climb to the roof and they come down again by the stairs and move about on a lower floor. It's a case of negation and affirmation. That is to say, the aspirant at first negates the world on account of its not being God, but after divine realization he accepts the same world as the manifestation of God Himself. There is, for instance, the 7-story palace of a king. Strangers have access only to the lower apartments. But the prince, who knows the palace to be his own, can move up and down from floor to floor. There is a kind of rocket that throws out sparks in one pattern and then seems to go out. After a moment it makes another pattern and then still another. There is no end to the patterns it can make. But there is another kind of rocket that when it is lighted makes only a dull sound, throws out a few sparks and then goes out altogether. Like this second kind, an ordinary jiva, after much spiritual effort, can go to a higher plane, but he cannot come down to tell others his experiences. After much effort, he may go into Samadhi, but he cannot climb down from that state or tell others what he has seen there. Should stop here. Nitya Siddha is ever perfect. Ishvara Koti, he also belongs to same class. But Ishvara Kotis can come back and forth to serve the humanity. When God comes as an incarnation, the Ishvara Kotis come to help him. In fact, incarnation is also considered as an Ishvara Koti. That means though they dwell very high, out of infinite compassion, they come down to help the humanity, to relieve them from suffering. Ishvara Koti is Nitya Siddha, no doubt. Nitya Siddha means ever perfect. So there is not much difference in that. Nitya Siddha is a born perfect. But Ishvara Koti is a state. One rises to that state. An embodied being, by practicing spirituality, can rise to the state of Ishvara Koti. That's the way. But he is also Ishvara Koti. He himself says, for the sake of humanity, I am prepared to come any number of times. He expressed that desire. Ishvara Koti is the one who doesn't have to do any practice, because he is aware of the reality and he knows the reality and he has realized the truth. And Purna Chandra is referred to as one of the Ishvara Kotis. It is not necessary that everyone should be a monk to be Ishvara Koti. Monks are also Ishvara Kotis, that's all. But even though they become householders for some reason, but afterwards it has no meaning. They don't have any kind of that activity in the ordinary sense of the term. Their mind is fully occupied by God and they become illumined and they are happy in their highest state. So they are not pulled by the doctrine of karma, those who become ever perfect. See, they purposely they come. They come to suffer. They know it is suffering, but they love to suffer because by suffering they are able to bring happiness to the people. That's the way. According to the Hindu view of life, every soul is to be born again and again until he reaches God. Until and unless he reaches that abode of God, he keeps on coming back and forth. What is it that makes him come back and forth? It is the desires. And it is true, people make mistakes, but you learn through mistakes only. Suppose you are learning the alphabet. You won't straight away write correctly, you make mistakes. By making 10 mistakes, then you are writing correctly afterwards. In the same way, you do make mistakes. On account of the mistakes being done, you reap the result of those mistakes. Because what is the result? Suffering. When suffering comes, you open your eyes. Why I am suffering? Because of this. Because of misdeeds. So I should not engage myself in bad deeds anymore. So, through suffering people learn. But it is a different issue. Some people, they may not learn at all through suffering. But that question doesn't apply to them. They may let them go in their own way. But if you come to religion, we don't close the door. We don't condemn anybody eternally. No. That is the Vedanta. Herein comes the beauty of Vedanta. Vedanta tells each soul is potentially divine. You are divine by your birthright. Because you don't know that divine nature, you are suffering. Because of ignorance. So, try to acquire knowledge. Try to dispel the ignorance by the light of knowledge. Then everything will be okay. Like that. So life is a chance given to you to improve upon. Life after life you must improve yourself. That means you must come nearer to God. Not life after life going away from God. That's the point. We shall stop. We know we have got very important function in the month of July 12th, that is Sunday. We have got the installation of Swami Vivekananda's statue at the Hindu temple in Lemont. It's a very big event. All the Swamis of our American centers are coming. The Vice President of the Ramakrishna Order will be coming for dedicating the statue, and all of you please try to be free on that day to attend the program. And we have arranged a special discourse by Swami Atmasthanandaji, the revered Vice President of the Ramakrishna Order, on Saturday, July 11th, morning at 11 o'clock. And I should see the whole hall be filled up with people. So that means each of you should bring your friends because it's a very important occasion. And after the talk there will be question answer session. You can ask any questions and try to bring as many friends as possible. That is on July 11th, Saturday morning, 11 o'clock. We are planning to give prasad to all the people who come on that day for that program. It is very sacred program, so please try to come. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself, O self, down deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass, be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Oh, how I long for the day when an instant separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stealest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere, may all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous reign tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.